Hello. What's up, my people? You're right. Yeah, this is Pastor Jimba Alex, Gospel Faith Television, doing his own thing. Um, Gospel Faith Television UK. Happy New Year, everyone. Today, my topic is going to be based on Afcon. Afcon means the African Cup of Nations. So today's topic is going to be Emmanuel Dennis, who plays for Watford, should be at the Afcon 2022, which is going to be hosted in Cameroon. So the topic for today is Emmanuel Dennis, a Nigerian international footballer that plays in Watford. Watford is more or less like on the outskirts of North London. So I think I've got a picture of Emmanuel Dennis here. He plays for Watford. In England. He's a Premier League footballer. Well, that's a bit windy. Anyway, he's a Premier League footballer. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, so the topic for today is Emmanuel Dennis should be at the Afcon 2022, which is being hosted in Cameroon. But my major issue is like Watford's manager, who goes by the name of Claudio Ranieri. Yeah, so the Watford manager, oops, sorry about that, who goes by the name of Claudio Ranieri. Yeah, thank you, cameraman. The Watford manager, who goes by the name of Claudio Ranieri, made it clear that Emmanuel Dennis won't be playing in the African Nations Cup, Afcon, in Cameroon, which starts in 2 weeks' time. And I personally felt offended from that. I'll tell you why I felt offended from that. Number one, because when I was growing up in Africa, in Nigeria myself, sometimes there was no television in the house, so I couldn't even watch the World Cup. I couldn't even watch the World Cup. So I used to go to my friends' houses, and we used to watch Afcon there. I was a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, to 13 years old. So Afcon was like the World Cup to me. So I know people in America and the Western world, they were watching Diego Maradona or whatever. I never saw the World Cup. I wasn't privileged enough to see the World Cup. So I always watched the Afcon. I watched players like Roger Miller. I watched players like, what's his name? Theophilus Abega. I watched players like Yusuf Fofana of Ivory Coast. They were my idols. I watched players like Segun Odegbami and Christian Chukwu. So for Claudio Ranieri to come out and say that Nigeria didn't write to Watford on time, they were one day late, is a massive insult to me, Pastor Jimba Alex. It's a massive insult to the African nations and what it stands for, and it's a big insult to all the big African players that came through the Afcon system as well, because a lot of players have been found through the African Nations Cup. Yeah. Another point here is Emmanuel Dennis himself. He started playing football in African leagues. So I don't know too much about Emmanuel Dennis, but I know I was reading an article and it says Emmanuel Dennis started his professional career with FC Abuja. So Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. So he started playing football with FC Abuja professionally. So that tells me that the African leagues and the African competitions should not be undermined or underestimated, because that's where the great players come from anyway. So Emmanuel Dennis started his career with FC Abuja in Nigeria, which is an African league. So for any player, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I always wanted to turn professional. I always wanted to play professional football, but it didn't happen. I'm not going to say I wasn't good enough, but one or two issues, some certain things, it just didn't happen. But it would have been an honor for me to play in the African nations, because it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to a lot of African youth within that continent right now. They're looking forward to seeing major stars, African football stars, come back to the continent and display their skills only for 2 weeks. That tournament's only going to go on for 2 weeks. So if these stars that play in the Premier League week in, week out, just go to Africa and display their skills on the continent for the locals to see just for 2 weeks, what is wrong with that? And Claudio Ranieri came out with an excuse to say that the Nigerian Football Federation got in contact with Watford to invite Emmanuel Dennis to the Nigerian camp a day late. That's a big disgrace. I think Claudio Ranieri should be ashamed of himself. Yeah, that's how much I see it myself. Because that's a big disgrace. I know a lot of big African players, they won't talk about this, they will hide or whatever. But me personally, I'm going to talk about it. I feel like Claudio Ranieri should be ashamed of himself, and he owes the Nigerian Federation, Football Federation, an apology. So it's an honor for any African player to play in the Afcon tournament, just like it's an honor for David Beckham to play in the European Championships, or it's an honor for Zidane to play in the European Championships, or it's an honor for Nedved to play in the European Championship. It's also an honor for Dennis to play in the African Championship. So like I said, Claudio Ranieri has to be ashamed of himself. Yeah, because when I heard that news, it kind of hit me, because I was looking forward to seeing Emmanuel Dennis playing in the African Nations Cup, because he's a good player. And the best players of every country have got the right to represent their countries. And you know what, yeah, it's an honor to be invited to play for your country. Imagine a footballer, a professional footballer, maybe you haven't played for your country before, and you get the letter, you get the call. Wow, that's a big honor. Listen, let me tell you something. There's some great players in the streets of South London. Show that, my brother. Show the houses. Right now, yeah. So what I'm trying to say here, right now in the streets of South London, there's so many great talents all over the world. Amateurs, unproven talents. So for them to turn professional and get an invitation to play for their countries, wow, that's a massive honor. So I can't even fathom how Emmanuel Dennis is feeling right now. He must be feeling disappointed himself. You can't play for your country, but every Saturday you put on Watford's shirt to represent your team. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. Because without Nigeria as a federation, or without Nigeria as a country, Emmanuel Dennis wouldn't be playing for Watford today. So all the skills, Dennis, he jumped and he had the ball on match of the Dennis! Yeah? Dennis! So yeah, he had the ball on match of the day, yeah? Where did he learn those skills from? He learned it from Nigeria. So I thank God for giving me the energy and the zeal to come on the soccer arena and talk about this situation, this ongoing situation with Emmanuel Dennis not being at the Afcon 2022. It's a shame. It's a shame. They talk about Afcon being undermined. They talk about Afcon being discriminated against. This is one of the reasons. Yeah, these people, they're trying, Claudio Ranieri is trying to make the continent or the competition to be a lot more weaker. This is a strategy to make the competition a lot more weaker. If the best players of the continent are not playing in the competition, then what good is that? The other day I was listening to Klopp, the Liverpool manager. Yeah, of course I'm a pastor, but I talk about football as well. I got a right to talk about football. The other day I was listening to Klopp, big manager, Liverpool manager, Premier League manager, and he said that the Afcon is a small competition. How can you say that, man? How can you say that? A lot of people are looking up to Klopp himself, a big manager. He used to be the manager of Dortmund in Germany, Bundesliga. He's a Premier League manager. I think did he win the Champions League? He won the Champions League. And you open your mouth to say the Afcon is a small tournament. Stop kidding yourself, man. You should stop kidding yourself. Don't talk like that. You know what I mean? That was such a very unprofessional thing to say. You don't say the Afcon is a small tournament. Don't say that. No, you should never say that. You're insulting Africans by saying that. And all the great African talents that come out of the African competition in the past years. And you know, I'm thinking also as well to say that Nigeria themselves didn't fight hard enough. No. Nigeria themselves didn't fight hard enough. So I can imagine Nigeria called and said, we need Dennis to come to report. We need Dennis to report to Lagos, or we need Dennis to report to Abuja, or maybe Uyo. What's another city there? Or we need Dennis to report to Aba, Enyimba Stadium. On the, I don't know if it's called. I don't know if it's called for Nigeria, but anyway, they're called. The phone will ring, green. I don't know if it's a house phone or whatever. Yeah, and they say, "Hello, who's that? Watford FC?" And they say, "Excuse me, release Dennis now." That's not how to talk. We want Dennis now. Release Dennis now because we are waiting at the airport in Abuja. Dennis should be the no. And they say, no. Well, unfortunately, Dennis can't make it because you called a day late. And they just hang up the phone. They say, okay, we'll call back later. And they drop the phone. No, let it roll. Yeah, let it roll. So they say, okay, we'll call back later. No. You have to push this thing. You have to press. You just don't call once and they say, Dennis is busy. Or you call the day later and you just give up like that. And say, okay, we're NFF. We tried. And Dennis is not. We called one day later, so we just give up like that. And after that, you're gonna eat pounded yam. And no buroko. Nah. Don't be doing them kind of things, man. Honor your player. So you know, big name African players will be at the Afcon. Most definitely. You got players like Sadio Mane will be there. Sorry. Yeah, Sadio Mane will be there. Keita will be there. Mo Salah will be there. These are big African names that will be there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so these are big African names that will be there. I'm thinking as well, what's his name? Yeah, Mahrez. Yeah, Mahrez will be there. These are big African names from the continent. Yeah, Mahrez will be there. I'm thinking Iheanacho will be there. These are the biggest African names. Yeah, thank you. So Iheanacho will be there. They will all be there. But I can understand Osimhen. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can understand Osimhen not being there. Because Osimhen had a problem with his eyes. I think he went to go and head the ball Yeah, thank you. I think Osimhen went to go and head the ball in a Serie A game, Napoli versus whoever, and the defender caught his eye socket or whatever. So I can understand Osimhen being one of the biggest names in Afcon not being there. But that makes Nigeria's team even weaker. So Osimhen not being there, I can understand because he got a facial injury. But I want to ask a question here. If Emmanuel Dennis was an Italian, would Ranieri try to stop him from playing for Italy? If Emmanuel Dennis was an Italian and they ring and say we need Dennis to play for Italy, World Cup final, Ranieri will say quickly go. Non capite italiano. That's why you say things like that, non capite italiano. Bravo, mamma mia, Dennis, go. Mamma mia, tutto bene. You say go. But because Dennis is from Nigeria, you block him. And Ranieri is in his 70s as well. Behaving like this, don't be doing that. It's the wrong attitude to have. As an elderly man, you should set better examples. You're 70 years old. Stop blocking youth from representing their country. You know what I mean? This is not mafia. This is not mafia business. The man, Emmanuel Dennis, is due to play for his country. Let the man go and play for his country. Stop coming out with excuses and clauses to say that they called one. It doesn't matter if they called 1 minute late. Or let the man go and play for his country. We all want to enjoy Afcon. Ranieri, it's not your competition, is it? Stop doing that. You know what I mean? So this is all part of undermining the African tournament. This is all part of undermining the African tournament. I mean, what's the soccer pundit, his name on Match of the Day? I think his name is Ian Wright. Yeah, and Ian Wright was talking about it as well. He's saying that the Afcon is the most undermined competition. Ian Wright, such a big football name, said it. I had a picture of Ian Wright somewhere, but it seems like I can't find it right now. But Ian Wright said it himself. He said, Ian Wright was talking about how the African tournament is facing being undermined. The thing even touched Ian Wright, the footballer, because Ian Wright's black himself. You know, this is more or less like a black issue here. So people like Dennis not being there is making the tournament even weaker. We need Africa's best players in the Afcon tournament, and Dennis is one of Africa's best players. So Dennis should have been there. For me, Dennis not being at the African tournament is a global football injustice. And I'm going to write to FIFA about this, because I have my own ministry. Yeah, I have my own church. I'm going to write to FIFA about this. And who knows, maybe me and FIFA can come together and pray and say, God help Ranieri. Start doing this. Start doing this. Hey, God, Ranieri and Dennis. Only God can save us, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to write to FIFA. And we're going to talk about this global football injustice. Samuel Eto'o became the president of Cameroon football. He should do something about this also. I'm going to write to Samuel Eto'o also. Yeah, I'm going to write to Samuel Eto'o also, because Samuel Eto'o is my friend. On social media, Samuel Eto'o should do something about it as well. I'm going to write to DJ Drogba. He's Chelsea's best ever player. Fantastic goal scorer. So I'm going to write to DJ Drogba as well. And we have to look into this issue about Emmanuel Dennis not being released to play in the African Nations Cup. I'll tell you something. Yeah, when I was growing up, when I was 13 years old in Nigeria, these were my heroes. There's Stephen Keshi there. There's the late Samuel Okbarachi who died on the pitch. There's Ademola Adesina, the great midfielder, IICC, and there's Peter Rufai as well. Yeah, thank you. So when I was growing up, I didn't have much myself, but the Afcon kept me going. That was my World Cup. That's what I got to learn how to play football as well. So Emmanuel Dennis not being at the Afcon is a disgrace to FIFA. And it's a disgrace to the Nigerian Football Federation. And it's a disgrace to football in general. I'm very disappointed with Ranieri. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very disappointed with Klopp, the Liverpool manager, and I'm very disappointed with Ranieri as well for not releasing this player. Ranieri, you gotta be more professional than that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I just wanted to talk about what's it called again? Yeah, Emmanuel Dennis should be at the Afcon 2022, and I feel like I've made my point clear that I am not happy about this, and I'm not gonna keep quiet as well because I'm a British citizen. I'm not gonna keep quiet. A lot of people, things are hurting them in this country, but they keep quiet. I'm not gonna keep quiet. So the topic for today has been Emmanuel Dennis should be at the Afcon 2022, and these so-called big managers should stop blocking us. All right, thank you. Thanks for watching. Thank you.